doing worksheet on area and perimeter, and we'll be discussing the numerical questions in this worksheet, and in the next worksheet we'll be discussing the word problems related to area and perimeter. So question number 1, calculate the area of this triangle. So a formula for area of triangle is simply half into base, which is 8.4 in this case, times height, which is 3.5 in this case, which would give us 0.5 times 8.4 times 3.5, which is 14.7. The unit is centimeter square. Make sure there's no problem in the units. Sometimes one of the value is in meters, one is in centimeters, so you need to convert the unit first. Alright, question number 2, which is the area of a triangle is 528, its length is 33, so half into 33 times, find the perpendicular height, so h, make h the subject, take 2 to the other side, multiply it with 528 and then divide 33, and we would get 528 times 2 divided by 33 is 32, which is the answer. So 32 centimeters is the answer for part 2. Alright, question 2. Question number 3 now, which says calculate the area of a circle with radius 5.1. So that's simply pi radius square, so the radius is 5.1 square. So this would give us, we'll use the value of pi in the calculator, so symbol pi times 5.1 square. I'm getting 81.7128. the final answer has to be rounded off to 3 significant figures, so that is 81.7. question number 4, the diagram shows a circular disc with radius 6 centimeters. In the center of the disc is a circular hole of radius 0.5 centimeter. Calculate the area of the shaded region. So that would be outer area, area of the bigger circle minus area of the smaller circle. So pi 6 square minus pi 0.5 square. Simply enter this whole expression together in your calculator. Pi times 6 square minus pi times 0.5 square. This gives me 112.3119, and we have to round off the final answer to 3 significant figures, so that's 112. question number 5 is, the diagram shows a circle of radius 5 centimeter in a square of side 8 meters. So this is 8 centimeters and the radius, I think this is actually 18 centimeter. There's a typing error in this question, so make this corrections in your worksheet. This is 18 centimeter. So this is 18 centimeter and the radius is 5 centimeter. This is 5 centimeter. So again, to find the area of the shaded region, we'll find the area of the square, which is 18 square, minus area of the circle minus pi 5 square. Enter this whole expression in your calculators. 18 square minus pi times 25, which gives 245.460, rounded off to 245. Okay, question number 6, which is find the area of the trapezium. So formula for area of the trapezium is half times vertical height, which is this height, the perpendicular height, times sum of opposite sides, which are the parallel sides. Alright, so substituting the values, half times 10 times 12 plus 22. Again, I'll enter this as it is in my calculator. So 0.5 times 10 times bracket 12 plus 22, which gives me 170. question number 7, give me a second. Alright, Question 7. Calculate the area of the trapezium. So again, that's half times height times sum of parallel sides, half times height times a plus b. So I don't have the value of the height in this part. I have the sum of parallel sides, but I don't have the height. Height is this length or also this length. Now notice we have the length BC. So from BC is 8, and this is a right angle triangle. And how can we find this length? This is simply 12 minus 8, which is 4. So we have a right angle triangle with us, and using that we can find the missing height. This is 8, this is 4, and this is height. So I'll apply Pythagoras theorem, which is c square equals a square plus b square. C is the side opposite to the right angle, so also called the hypotenuse. So 8 square equals h square plus 4 square. Now we need to make h the subject, so I'll do h square minus 4 square equals h square, and to make h the subject I'll take under root on both sides. So now my answer will be, the height will be h under root 8 square minus 4 square. This gives me 6.9282. In fact, what I like to do is to get a very accurate answer. Instead of writing this number over here in the form of decimals, what I can do is find 8 square minus 4 square, that is 48. So I'll write under root 48 here equals h. So now I don't have a rounded off answer, I have an exact answer. So here I'll substitute under root 48. So this becomes under root 48. Now I'll simply substitute the values, which are, let me do the working here, which would be half times height came out to be under root 48 times sum of parallel sides, which is 8 plus 12. Now let's see what the calculator gives us. 0.5 times under root 48 times bracket 8 plus 12. This gives me 67.08, which is not the same answer. So either I've made a mistake somewhere or this answer is wrong. Let me check. Alright, I made a mistake while entering the values in the calculator. So under root half and times half times under root 48 times 8 plus 12 gives us the correct answer, which is 69.2820. So 69.2820, which becomes 69.3 when rounded off to 3 significant figures, which is the same as this. Right, this is question number 7. Question number 8 now. So for question number 8, we have the diagram shows the front face of a barn. The width of the barn is 12, height is 8, and the sides of the barn are both 5 centimeters. So work out the area of the front face of the barn. So we simply need the area of this whole figure, and notice these are actually 2 trapeziums. So 2 exactly identical trapeziums. So our formula will be 2 into half into height into sum of parallel sides, and these 2 will be cancelled, and we'll only write height into a plus b. Now what is the height of this trapezium? Don't make the mistake of taking the height as 8. This is not the height of the trapezium. A trapezium's height is the height which joins the 2 parallel sides. So these are the 2 parallel sides of the trapezium. So this would be the height of the trapezium, which would be 6. So height is 6 here. Alright, so let me insert the values now. 6 times the opposite sides are 5 and 8. 6 times 5 plus 8. This will give me 6 times 5 plus 8, which gives us 78. Alright, Question number 9. The area of the parallelogram is 55.1 centimeters square. Work out the value of x. So the formula for area of a parallelogram is simply base times height. So base is x and height is 5. And we have the value for the area. So we'll simply write base is x, height is the vertical height, not the slant height. So times 5 equals 51.5. Now I'll divide 51.5 with 5. 51.5 divided by 5, which gives us 10.3. So x equals 10.3. Okay. Question 10. Question 10 says, the diagram shows a shape made from a square and a semicircle. Calculate the area of the shape, give the units for your answer. So this is a square, so this is 10 and this would be 10 as well. And since this is 10, that means the diameter is 10. So that would make the radius 5. So simply substitute the values now. Area of square is 10 times 10 plus area of half a circle is pi r square divided by 2, because this is half a circle. I'll enter this in the calculator. 100 plus fraction key. In the numerator I'll write pi times 5 square. In the denominator I'll write 2. This gives me 139.2699. Rounded off to 3 significant figure. This is 139 and they ask for the unit, so centimeters square. Okay. Question 11. Which is the top of a desk is made from a rectangle and a quarter of a circle. The rectangle measures 0.8 by 1.4 meters. Calculate the surface area of the top of this desk. So simply we need the area of this desk. So 0.8 times 1.5 is the area of the square plus area of quarter of a circle. Now the radius of this circle will be 0.8. So we'll write pi 0.8 square, 0.8 whole square over 4, because this is quarter of a circle. So we'll divide it with 4. So I'll enter these values in my calculator. 0.8 times 1.4 plus fraction key. In the numerator I'm writing pi times 0.8 square. In the denominator I'm writing 4. This gives me 1.6226. Let me quickly check the answer. Oh, I haven't copied the answer. And here's the answer, which is same as ours when we'll round off our final answer to 3 significant figures. Question number 12. Just a second. Question 12. The diagram shows the surface of a garden pond made from a rectangle and 2 semicircles. The rectangle measures 3 meters by 1.2 meters. Calculate the area of the surface. So if I figure out the shapes present in this pond, that's one rectangle and one whole circle divided into 2 parts. So I'll just use the formula for area of a rectangle, which is 3 times 1.2 plus area of the whole circle, which will be pi r square. Now what is r? This is diameter 1.2. So 1.2 divided by 2 will be 0.6. So radius is 0.6. So I'll write 0.6 here. 0.6. Yes. Entering the values in the calculator. 3 times 1.2 plus pi times 0.6 square. This gives me 4.73097 and so on, rounded off to 3 significant figures. This becomes 4.73. Okay, question 13 is, the shaded shape has a rotational symmetry of order 2. That means, just in case you haven't studied rotational symmetry yet, that means that this side is actually exactly equals and similar to this side. So what I'll do, I'll find the area of this side and then simply multiply it with 2. Alright, so we have to figure out area of this half of L shape. So 2 times what, let's divide this into two shapes. So this will be 4 times 5, right? So I'll write 2 times 4 times 5 plus, and the remaining rectangle would be, this dimension is 5 because 10 minus 5 is 5. We have 5 here, so that means we have 5 left here. And then this dimension would be, let's see, since these two sides are equal, this length is 18, that means this length is also 18. So this is 18 and then we have 4 next to it, so 18 plus 4 is 22. So now this rectangle's dimensions are 5 and 22. So plus 5 times 22, whatever answer we'll get, we'll multiply it with 2. So 2 times 20 plus 5 times 22 is 110. So 2 times 130, which gives us 260. Let me check the answer. Yes, 260 is the final answer. Question number 14, which says, question 14, in this part all measurements are in meters. The diagram shows a rectangle. The area of the rectangle is 310. Work out the value of W. So since this is a rectangle, that means this length and this length should be equals. Using that, we can find the value of x. So 2x minus 9 equals 3x plus 7, which gives 2x equals 16. So x equals 8. So now this length will become 5 times 8 minus 9. So 5 times 8 minus 9 gives me 31. And to be safe, let's check this length as well. 3 times 8 plus 7. 3 times 8 plus 7 should give me the same, yes, 31. So this length is 31, this length is 31. Now the area will be 31 times W equals 310, which is given in the question. So to find W, we'll divide the two. W will become 310 over 31, which gives us 10. So W equals 10 for question 14. Question 15. The diagram shows a square of side K. The circle inside the square touches all 4 sides of the square, which means the diameter here is K as well, and the radius will be K by 2. Alright, so let me mark the radius. If this is the center, radius will be K by 2. Alright, the circle, alright, the shaded area is A. So show that this equation holds true. So I know the shaded area, equals to A. So I'll write A equals, now how would I find the shaded area using this? That would be area of the square, which is K square, minus area of the circle, which is pi r square, and radius we concluded earlier was that K over 2 is the radius. So let's simplify this. We get K square minus pi K square over 4. Now take LCM and I'll get 4K square minus pi K square. So equals A. Take 4 to the other side. This becomes 4A equals 4k square minus pi k square. So we got this required equation. We've shown that. Part B, make k the subject of the formula. This is part A. Part B is make k the subject of the formula. So what I'll do is that I'll first factorize the right hand side. So k square can be taken common and we get 4 minus pi. Next I'll divide 4a with 4 minus pi, and this will give me equals k square. To get rid of the k square, I'll take under root on both sides. So in the end I'll get k equals preferably plus minus 4a over what was that, 4 minus pi. But wait, since k is a length, I can't take plus minus. If this were a general question asking only to find to make k the subject here, then you should have written plus minus. But now since we know k is a length and it can't be negative, so we'll only choose the positive of the under root. So this is the answer. Or you can take this one step ahead, and we know under root of 4 is 2. Bring 2 outside and keep everything else in the underneath the under root sign. So this is an acceptable answer, and this is also acceptable. This was part 50, question 15. Okay, question 16 is the area of the rectangle is 84 centimeters square. Find the perimeter. So area is 84, so 84 equals y times y plus 5. This gives us 84 equals y square plus 5y, which gives us 0 equals y square plus 5y minus 84. This becomes a quadratic equation. So to solve this, let's factorize this. We're looking for two numbers which when multiplied together gives us minus 84, and when added together give us 5. That would be 7 times 12, I believe. Let's say if I multiply 12 with minus 7, I'll get minus 24. And if I'll add these two values, 12 plus minus 7, alright. So now when we add 12 plus minus 7, we get 5. So I'll factorize this: y square plus 12y minus 7y, 12y minus 7y minus 84 equals 0. Factorize, and y is common in the first two values, minus 7 is common in the next two values, equals 0. We write y plus 12 once, and then y minus 7 equals 0, and we're getting two values for y equals minus 12 and y equals 7. Now we have to find the perimeter, so we'll only choose the positive value of y because length cannot be negative. So what we'll do is we will substitute the values here. So this becomes 7, and this becomes 7 plus 5, which is 12. So 7 times we need to find perimeter, so perimeter is 2 times length plus width. So 12 plus 7 times 2 is 38, which is the answer for this part, 38. Question number 17, which says the difference between the areas of the two rectangles is 62 centimeters square. Part 1, show that x square plus 2x minus 63. So we need to show those equations building on this fact that the difference between the areas of the rectangle is 62. So let's call this A1 and A2. So we're told that A1 minus A2 should be equals to 62. How do I write A1 in terms of x? That would be length times width simply. So x minus 1 times 2x plus 3, and then minus A2 is x plus 1, x minus 2 equals 62. Now we need to open the brackets and simplify. So just keep this very important thing in mind, that when you're opening the brackets, solve this first, then put a negative sign, and then solve this first, and then later open these two brackets, so that you remember that this negative sign will change each and every sign inside here. Usually students tend to forget that because they don't put these big brackets around the negative the negative sign. Alright, so I'm solving these separately, this and this. So this will become 2x, let me grab the red pen. Okay, so 2x square plus 3x minus 2x plus 3, then a negative sign, and then x square minus 2x plus x minus 2 bracket close equals 62. So the first expression becomes 2x square plus x plus 3 bracket minus x square minus x minus 2 equals 0. This should be minus 3 over here. I've made a mistake. This is minus 3. So this is minus, which means this is also minus. Okay. And also this is 62, not 0. Alright, now I'll open the brackets and I get 2x square plus x minus 3 minus x square plus x plus 2 equals 62. So this becomes x square, then we have the x terms, we have 2x terms, so plus 2x, then minus 3 plus 2 minus 62. This becomes minus 63 equals 0. So we got the equation we were supposed to show. Alright. This is part 1, clearing the screen for part 2, which is simply factorize this. X square plus 2x minus 63 equals 0. So we're looking for two numbers which when multiplied should give us minus 63, which when added should give us 2. So how can we get 63? We get 63 from 7 and 9. So if I write 9 times minus 7, I get 63. And when I write 9 plus minus 7, I get 2. So I'll break the middle term into 9x minus 7x. Instead of 2x, I've written this, and the rest will remain the same. Then x is common in the first two terms, minus 7 is common in the next two terms. So this becomes x plus 9 equals 0. This becomes x minus 7. Oh, I'm not supposed to equate it to 0 yet. Yes, this should be, I think there's a typing mistake. This should be x square plus 2x minus 63 only, not equals 0. So factorized form is this: x plus 9, x minus 7. This is answer for part 2. In part 3 we have to solve this. So question 17, part 3, which says solve this equation to find the difference between perimeters of the two rectangles. So first solve this equation. We've got x plus 9, x minus 7 equals 0. So we're getting two answers. One is minus 9 and the other one is x equals 7. We'll choose the positive answer because the length cannot be negative. If I choose minus 9, this will become minus 10, and the length of a rectangle can't be minus 10. So I'll just choose this answer, and now I have to find the difference between perimeters. So for that, before that, I need all the lengths. So this length is 7 minus 1, which is 6. This length is 2 times 7 plus 3, so 14, 15, 16, 17. We get 17 here. Then this length is 7 plus 1, which makes 8. Then this is 7 minus 2, which makes 5. So difference between the perimeters will be 2 times 6 plus 17 minus 2 times 5 plus 8. So let's see what I get. 2 times bracket 6 plus 17 minus 2 times bracket 5 plus 8 directly in my calculator. I get 20, which thank God is the right answer. Alright, question 18. Question 18. The diagram shows a solid metal prism with cross section this. Calculate the area of cross section. So cross section means this base. So we need area of this base. So let's split it into two parts. Let's split it into a trapezium and a rectangle. So okay, so this is for 6 marks. That means there must be some lengthy working involved. Alright, so first I do have this length. This is 2, but I don't have this length, and also I don't have this length, but this lower length can be found by finding this length. So this is 4, and this would be 4 minus 2, which would be 2. So this is 2. So now I can find, if I call this x, I can find fx. No, this is E. I can find EX. I believe this is E. Let's see. Probably, yes, probably it's E. Okay. So EX will be this length. EX. This is 4. This is 2. I need EX. So EX will be applying Pythagoras theorem. 4 square equals EX square plus 2 square. I'm directly making EX the subject, so 4 square minus 2 square whole under root equals EX. So what do I get when I write 4 square minus 2 square? I get 12. So EX is actually under root 12. So I could write this as decimals. Under root 12 is 3.4641 and some other numbers. So what this will do is, if I round it off here, I won't get the final exact answer, although the examiner will accept it. But what I'll try to do is stick to under root 12, stick to this value, so that when I enter under root 12, I'm not rounding off some of the values of under root 12. The calculator will be using under root 12 completely. If I enter 3.4641 and ignore the rest of the values, so I am ignoring some of the values. So let's try to stick to under root 12. So let me do the rest of the working here. So if this came out to be under root 12, which means this length is also under root 12, which means this length is 7 minus under root 12. Alright, so now let's simply insert the values. We need the area of the upper rectangle, that will be 2 times 7 minus under root 12. Alright, and then plus area of the trapezium, which is half into height is under root 12, into sum of parallel sides, which is 2, plus the whole lower length was 4. Yes, 4. Let me show you. This is 2 and this is 4. So 2 plus 4. Alright, let's put all of this in our calculator and have our fingers crossed. 2 times 7 minus under root 12, bracket close, plus bracket open, 0.5 times under root 12 times bracket times 6. This is given me 20.9, which is not the correct answer. I've probably made some other mistake. Let me check. I'll be right back. Okay, so I made a mistake while entering these values in the calculator. I should put brackets around this as well while entering the values in the calculator. So I'll show you how to do this again. So how you'll enter this in your calculator, let me get rid of this. You'll enter 2 times bracket 7 minus under root 12, so that your calculator knows that this is a combined term, plus then simply enter half times under root 12 times 6. This will give you the answer. What was the answer? 20. No, the answer is 17.5, not 20. 17.5, this answer right here. Okay, question number 19, which says the shaded shape is made by joining a square with a rhombus. Work out the perimeter of the shaded shape. So if this is a square and a rhombus, we know if this side is 5, then this side is also 5 and this side is also 5, so we get 5 plus 5 plus 5. Then we have this side, this is a rhombus, so this side will be equals to this side will be equals to this side, so we need plus 3 times the one of these lengths. Now this is a rhombus again, and since this dotted line is 5, that means this will be 5, this will be 5, this will be 5, but this dotted 5 won't be included in the perimeter, because perimeter is the sum of the boundary lengths of the boundary, not any inner values. So times 5 plus 5 plus 5, so we get 5 times 6, which is 30, which is the answer for 9A. 9B 19B is the area of the shaded shape. So area of the square is length times width, so which is simply 5 square, plus area of a rhombus is like a parallelogram, the formula is base times height. So its formula is area equals base times height. So height is 4.5, so and base is 5. So 5 times 4.5. Height is the perpendicular height, not this slant height. So you can't use 5 times 5 for a rhombus as well. So I enter this in your calculator. 5 square plus 5 times 4.5, which gives us 47.5, which is the answer for 19B. Question 20 is the vertices of a square ABCD lie on the circumference of a circle. Calculate the area of the circle, and its radius is 8. So radius of the circle is 8. So simply the area will be pi 8 square. So in my calculator I'll enter pi times 64, which gives me 201. Why am I not getting the right answer? Calculate the area. Oh, the question asked for area of the square. My bad. Area of the square. So the circle's radius is 8. So that means this length is 8. This length is also 8, and this length is also 8. So now I need area of the square. Let me make it in a better way. So this is 8. This is the center, this is also 8, and these two sides are also 8 in it. Now this angle in the center would be 180, 360 divided by 4, which gives us 90. So that makes this a right angle triangle. So we have 4 identical right angles triangle. So what I'll do is write 4 times half into base is 8 and height is also 8, because it's a triangle like this. So now find this in your calculators. 4 times 0.5 times 8 times 8, which gives us 128. Okay, this is the answer for part A. Part B1 of question 20. Question 20, part B1 is calculate the area of the shaded segment. So now since this is 8, I can write area of circle minus area of square, and that would give me area of these remaining regions, these 4 segments. This shape is called a segment. So this will give me area of 4 of these segments. So when I'll divide this answer with 4, I will get area of one segment, which is the required region, area of this segment. So that would give me area of this segment. So substituting the values, area of the circle is pi r square, so pi 8 square minus area of the square we've already found 128 over 4. So pi times 8 square minus 128 divided by 4 whole divided by 4, this gives us 18.2654, which is 18.3. Okay. Question 20. Question 21. The semicircle of the diameter 6 cm is cut from a rectangle with sides 6 cm and 8 cm. Calculate the perimeter of the shaded shape correct to 1 decimal place. Alright. So perimeter is again the sum of all sides, the boundaries. So this length is 8 plus this length is 6 plus this length is also 6 plus this would be 2, 8 minus, no, this would be 1, because if this is 1, this is 6, then this is 1 as well. So this would be 1. Just a second. So this is 1 and this is 1. So I'll add plus 1 plus 1. Now we're left with the length of this arc. So this is half of the circumference. So I'll write plus 2 pi r divided by 2. Now what is the radius here? The diameter is 6, so the radius is 3. So enter this in your calculators. 8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 1 plus 1. 8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 1 plus 1 gives me 22, plus I get pi 3 plus 3 pi, which gives me 31.4247. Rounded off to 3, significant figure is 31.4, sorry, this is 4. So this is the answer for question 21. Question 22 is the perimeter of a rectangle is same length as the circumference of the circle. Calculate the radius of the circle. So am I even recording? Yes, thank God. Okay, question 22. The perimeter of the rectangle is the same as length as the circumference of the circle. So perimeter of the rectangle equals to the circumference of the circle. So what is the perimeter of the rectangle? 2 times 8 plus 6, which is equals to perimeter of the circle, which whose formula is 2 pi r. So simply solve this. 8 plus 6 times 2 is 28. 28 divided by 2 pi equals r. So 28 divided by 2 pi is 4.45633. Round to 3 significant figures is 4.46. Answer for part 22, question 22. Final question of this worksheet is, I hope this is the last one. Let me check this quickly. Yes, thank God, last question. Question 23. The circumference of a circle is 30 centimeters. So length of the whole outer boundary is 30 centimeter. Find the radius of the circle. This is a very easy question. So 30 over 2 pi will be our answer. 30 divided by 2 pi is 4.7746, which is 4.77 rounded off to 3 significant figures. Done with this worksheet. Bye, take care, see you next time.